The mansion was silent, but not the peaceful kind of silence. It was the heavy, suffocating kind that clung to every wall like fear itself. Doctors rushed in and out of the grand bedroom, their expensive shoes echoing against marble floors, their faces tight with worry. Machines beeped. Nurses whispered. And in the center of it all lay a tiny baby, fragile, pale, barely breathing. The millionaire, Mr. Armin Shah, stood frozen near the door. A man who had built empires, who commanded respect with a single glance, now looked completely helpless. His hands trembled as he watched his only child fight for life. "Why isn't anything working?" he shouted, his voice breaking. "You said you were the best. Do something." One of the doctors lowered his eyes. "We are trying everything, sir, but the baby's condition is extremely critical. There's a rare complication, we've never seen anything like this." Those words hit Armin like a hammer. Never seen. Nothing working. No hope. He sank into a chair, burying his face in his hands. For the first time in his life, money meant nothing. Power meant nothing. He would have traded it all, just to hear his baby cry again. Outside the room, the household staff stood in silence. Among them was a young maid named Syra. She had been working in the mansion for only a few weeks. Quiet, unnoticed, always keeping her head down. But today, something inside her wouldn't stay silent. She had been watching everything. Listening. Praying. And now, as she heard the doctor's hopeless words, her heart began to pound. She stepped forward hesitantly. "Sir," her soft voice barely rose above a whisper. No one paid attention. She tried again, louder this time. "Sir, please, may I say something?" Armin looked up, irritated, his eyes red with grief. This is not the time. But something in her expression stopped him. She wasn't scared. She wasn't trembling like the others. She looked certain. "What is it?" he snapped. Syra swallowed hard. "I know you won't believe me, but I think I can help the baby." The room went still. A doctor scoffed. "This is ridiculous." Armin's anger flared. "Are you out of your mind? These are world-class doctors, and you think you can do better." But Syra didn't step back. "Please, sir," she said, her voice steady now. "Just give me one chance. If I fail, you can send me away. But if there's even a small chance." Her words hung in the air. Armin looked at his baby, so still, so fragile. Then back at the doctors, who had already given up hope. What did he have to lose? "Fine," he said sharply. "You have 5 minutes." The doctors protested, but Armin silenced them with a single look. Syra walked slowly toward the baby. Every step felt heavy, but her heart was strangely calm. She gently picked up the child, cradling him close to her chest. Her hands moved with surprising confidence. Then, she did something that shocked everyone. She turned toward the bathroom. "What are you doing?" a nurse gasped. Syra didn't answer. Inside the bathroom, she turned on the tap. Cool water began to flow. Armin rushed forward. "Stop. Don't touch my baby." But before he could reach her, Syra spoke, firm, almost commanding. "Trust me." Something in her voice made him freeze. Carefully, she let a gentle stream of water flow over the baby's head, supporting him securely. The child's tiny body remained limp. Seconds passed. Nothing happened. The doctors shook their heads. "This is madness." Armin clenched his fists. Regret flooded his chest. What had he done? But Syra closed her eyes. And began to pray. Not loudly. Not dramatically. Just a quiet, heartfelt whisper. Ya Allah. You are the giver of life. If there is even a breath left in this child, bring him back. Not for wealth, not for status, but for a father who is breaking. Tears slipped down her cheeks. The room held its breath. And then. A tiny movement. So small, it could have been imagined. But Syra felt it. She opened her eyes sharply. Wait. Another movement. The baby's fingers twitched. A nurse gasped. Did you see that? Armin stepped closer, his heart pounding violently. And then, a sound. Weak. Fragile. But unmistakable. A cry. The baby cried. For a moment, no one moved. No one spoke. It was as if time itself had stopped. Then chaos erupted. The baby is responding. His pulse is back. Quick, check vitals. The doctors rushed forward, disbelief written all over their faces. Armin stood there, frozen, tears streaming down his face as he watched his child come back to life. Minutes later, one of the doctors turned to him, stunned. It's a miracle. The baby is stabilizing. Armin couldn't speak. He turned slowly towards Syra. She stood quietly in the corner, her head lowered again, as if nothing had happened. As if she hadn't just done the impossible. He walked toward her, his steps unsteady. "Why?" he whispered. "How did you?" Syra looked up, her eyes gentle. "I didn't do anything, sir," she said softly. Sometimes, when medicine reaches its limit, faith begins. Armin felt something shift inside him. For years, he had believed in control. In power. In money. But today, a poor maid had shown him something greater. Something he had completely forgotten. Humanity. Faith. Hope. He took a deep breath. "From today," he said, his voice firm but emotional, "you are no longer a maid in this house." Syra looked confused. "Sir. You are family." Tears filled her eyes. The mansion, once filled with despair, now echoed with the soft cries of a baby who had been given a second chance at life. And as Armin held his child close, he realized something he would never forget. Sometimes, miracles don't come from power. They come from the most unexpected hearts. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more emotional and life-changing stories like this. Your support keeps these powerful stories alive.